Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy, Young Sinai.
Angel Knot.
So today we are going to be reacting to a video called "Do You Know How Much These Would Cost If They Came Out Today?" You know, inflation is a big topic. You know, when you just think about how you got to pay $75 for eggs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure this will be pretty interesting. It's by MKED. Not MKBHD, but MKED. Yeah, he's another small creator. He's bigger than me, though, it seems like. But let's go ahead and take a look at this video. And make sure you go show him some love.
Angel Knot.
Attention shoppers, the new Atari cartridge game is in.
Dear consumer, imagine a trip to your local retailer and you're surprised as you take a
Hey, yo, my bad to stop it already. Man, that was so nostalgic. I was going to say, do you remember Circuit City? But then it hit me with the Comp USA. I have so many memories there with my dad.
The new Atari cartridge game is in.
Dear consumer, imagine a trip to your local retailer and you're surprised as you take a turn in the electronics department only to see the sticker price on a brand new PS5 being set at $945.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy to think, right? Take a trip with me as we cross the hazy intersection where nostalgia and price inflation meet as we take a look at 5 consoles: the Atari 2600, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Sega Genesis, the PlayStation 1, and the Xbox 360. As we're
going to try to guess how much these would be today. So throughout the video, hit pause and put how much you think is going to be in the comments. I'm going to let y'all know how much I think.
discuss not only these consoles, but what the pop culture landscape looked like back when they were released in North America. So let's jump on in. The year is 1977 and Star Wars mania has taken the world by storm. On the radio, the Bee Gees are Staying Alive. And on a toilet, Elvis has died. This year saw the Apple II computer hit the market and also the release of the Atari 2600. This second-generation console had 128 bytes of RAM, an 8-bit CPU, and retailed at its time of launch for $189.90.
Wow. I had a Atari 2600 as a kid. Okay. I feel like we're playing The Price is Right. Okay, so $189.95. I'm going to say nowadays, adjusted for inflation, in my mental inflation calculator that is completely wrong, I'm going to say it will cost $400.
85 cents. A modest sum today for cutting-edge technology. However, when adjusting the price with the Consumer Price Index or CPI inflation calculator to the same buying power in 2023, that would equal $945.70.
Oh my
To put that in context, that is almost twice as much as what you would be paying for an Xbox Series X or a PS5 for this classic system. Just think of that the next time you might run across one of these collecting dust in your parents' basement. This console did something remarkable though for its time. It brought the arcade experience into people's homes and played host to a score of legendary hits from Pac-Man to Space Invaders.
Hey,
Astro.
don't ever compare that Pac-Man to the arcade Pac-Man. I'm sorry. Those are two different things.
Defender, Pitfall, Donkey Kong, and oh yeah, let's not forget, E.T.
I got a hilarious story about E.T., but I'm going to save it for a different time.
Jumping ahead to 1985, beloved 80s classics were being released left and right, including hits such as Back to the Future, The Goonies, Teen Wolf, the Nintendo Entertainment System, and New Coke. Well, 4 out of 5 isn't bad. In a year where Madonna was putting out hit after hit like...
What was so bad about New Coke? I know it be getting flamed. I never had it, but let me know. Why was New Coke trash?
Material Girl, Like a Virgin, and Crazy for You. Nintendo entered the North American gaming market with their redesigned Famicom, and it made history.
Will you be the one to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System?
This 8-bit third-generation console brought the home video game market back to life and is often considered the greatest video game console of all time. You know it, you love it, and you all aggressively blew on its cartridges to get them to work. But what you might not know is at the time of its North America release in 1985, the console retailed for $179.99.
Okay. Now, I'm not comparing any of this to the old prices for two reasons. One, because this came out later, so obviously the inflation changed. And two, I don't remember the old price for the Atari. Okay, so $179.99. I'm gonna say $1,500.
That deluxe set included 2 controllers,
Oh,
2 games.
Okay, the deluxe set. I'm gonna say 2 bands.
NES Zapper and Rob the Robot. This one, not that one. Entering that price into the inflation calculator, at the time of making this video, that would equal $445.33.
Okay.
A much more reasonable price than the Atari 2600 had been 8 cents. A much more reasonable price than the Atari 2600 had been 8 years earlier. And
Yeah, that's a lot more reasonable. With prices like that, I see why the video game industry was crashing. Here you are charging dang near $1,000 to play trash. I don't care what they say. Some of those games were not arcade level experiences. I haven't played all the Atari games and compared them, side by side, but I can speak for Pac-Man. That Pac-Man game was not comparable to the arcade. Now, Miss Pac-Man, that was a good game, but yeah, I can see why the video game market was crashing.
keeping in line with what a new console retails for in 2023. This console would also have various releases in the following years that would offer a variety of accessories that would lead to an even more affordable price. And the NES, well, it would go on to play the host of too many countless classics, such as Super Mario Bros., Duck Hunt, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Mega Man, Castlevania.
That Mega Man cover is so cursed. Look at this. I mean, it's not new to me. I already know this, but look at this.
Hunt, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Mega Man.
Hold on. Before we get to Mega Man, let's flame Samus.
Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid.
Okay, listen. I ain't gonna hold you. Metroid, that's one of my favorite games of all time. Not this one, though. Super Metroid. I cannot get with how big Samus's head is. I know she's inside of the suit. I know it's a helmet or whatever, but it just looks like every time I see, I'm like, yo, she got a big head.
Metroid, Mega Man.
Okay, now let's look at Mega Man. Look at this dude. First off, that dude do not got no blaster, okay? That dude carrying around a real blicky. Okay, and then look at this man's face. Hold on, let's see if I can zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in. Look at this man's face. This looks like the face of someone who is about to resign from 40 years of working at a factory.
Castlevania, Contra, Final Fantasy, and well, the list goes on and on and on. But Nintendo weren't the only ones releasing home consoles in the 1980s, and in 1989, Sega released their 4th generation 16-bit console in North America, the Sega Genesis. Well, Tim Burton's Batman had released that summer, and Prince was busy teaching us how to bat dance. The Sega Genesis hit store shelves.
What did
in
her
October
shirt
with-
say? All this and brains too.
Sega Genesis hit store shelves in October with a price tag of $189.
Okay, so $189. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't remember the price that the Nintendo just was, but I'm assuming that the price was comparable. Oh no, but this is the Sega Genesis, not the Sega Master System. I don't know, like around 400.
A price which now would equate to $469.
Okay.
Yet again being comparable to what the price of a new high-end console would be today. In the same year that the new kids on the block were hanging tough and Milli Vanilli were telling you that, girl, you know it's true. Sega
They the first Drakes.
had released the console that would make a blue hedgehog a household name and would go on to give the Super Nintendo some real competition, fighting for a place on Christmas lists everywhere after the 1991 release of the SNES. And even though the Super Nintendo would go on to win this console war, selling over 15 million units more than the Genesis, we'll always have Aladdin to keep the debate alive over what was the superior 16-bit console. Well,
Yeah, that Aladdin for the SNES looked like trash. I'm gonna look like a straight up bootleg.
1995 saw the returns of some greats, like Michael Jordan to the NBA, Batman to the cinemas, and Hootie and the Blowfish back to the top of the charts. It also marked the introduction of Sony into the home console market, born out of an initial failed partnership with Nintendo to bring a CD-ROM drive add-on to the SNES. Sony then took it upon themselves to develop their own console, and in 1995 they released the Sony PlayStation to the North American market.
I feel like them all was like $99 when it first came out. I know I'm completely wrong, but I don't know why that's just ringing in my brain. Well, I know I'm wrong about that, so don't judge me.
The PS1 would be home to classic titles such as Tomb Raider, Crash Bandicoot, Tekken, Metal Gear Solid, Gran Turismo.
All classics. Notice they saying all classics. Name one classic. Name one game that's not a classic that you just mentioned.
Final Fantasy VII, and Parappa the Rapper.
All classics. Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you'll find.
When the PS1 first launched, it came with a price tag of $299.
Okay, I was off by $100.
Adjusted for inflation, the console would...
Okay, adjusted for inflation, I'm going to say the console is $350. And look, if you're judging me like, dude, you're all over the place with your adjusted for inflations. Okay, I'm not the best at math, and I don't have the best memory. So I'm not like basing this on anything. I'm like guessing every single time.
Retail in 2023
I'm going to say, no, it's already 300. So I'm going to say 400.
for nearly $600.
$600?
This sticker price didn't slow the PlayStation down, though, as this fifth-generation console would go on to outsell Nintendo's N64, with the PS1 selling 100 million units, compared to the N64 selling less than 33 million. Traveling out of the 90s, past Y2K, and into the year 2005 brings us to the final console on our list, the Xbox 360.
Okay, Xbox 360. When that came out, I feel like that all was $299. I feel like adjusted for inflation, it'd be like $800. I'm just making something up, y'all. Just run with me.
In the same year that YouTube was founded.
All right, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
That's the first YouTube video ever uploaded, for those of you all who don't know. Most of you guys know, but I'm sure there's that one person who didn't know.
50 Cent was visiting the candy shop, and Batman was beginning yet again. Microsoft launched their 7th generation console into the market.
I'm going to say $299.
$399 for the 20 gigabyte version.
Yo, that's already expensive.
And $299 for the core version.
I knew something was $299. I just felt it.
That corresponds to $617.20.
Hey, that's about what I said, I think.
$462.56 respectively in 2023 money. But hard drive or no, this console had it all. Gears of War, Halo 3, and the Red Ring of Death.
And the classic.
Yep, that was this Xbox.
Wow.
This hardware malfunction was found to be linked to an issue with the cracking of soldering joints in the console.
Put it in comments if you had Red Ring of Death. I did.
Which the Microsoft Xbox team went on to correct with redesigned models. But beyond hardware malfunctions, the Xbox 360 would have to duke it out with the competing consoles of that generation, the Nintendo Wii and the PlayStation 3.
Oh, wow.
And ultimately, the 360 would come in third when it came
Yeah, the Wii won that.
to the consoles sold. However, this console is considered a trailblazer with its integration of new online features, with Xbox Live innovations that enhance the overall console experience for gaming and beyond. The Xbox 360 paved the way with many online features that are commonplace in modern consoles today.
And you are now part of the Xbox 360 family. Welcome.
And so that rounds out our look at these consoles. They say a dollar doesn't go as far as it used to, but allow me one last scenario. In 1965, a brand new Ford Mustang cost less than $3,000.
Oh my gosh.
A gallon of gas to fill it up, 30 cents.
Oh my
An average house
To
price
fill it
was
up?
going for roughly $20,000.
A gallon of gas, not... Wait. He said a gallon of gas to fill it up. He's not saying that a gallon filled it up. He's saying... I don't know. But whatever, 30 cents, that's crazy.
It seems that the price of everything has only gone up and up. But consider this. Also in 1965, RCA launched their new, more economical Victor color TV line starting at $399.95, or approximately $3,800 in today's money. This was the going price for an economical television. Much like what we saw with the Atari 2600, which would retail for over $900 if it came out now, it is wild what this revolutionary tech would go for. As time has gone by and successive console generations have come and gone, it appears that the adjusted price has settled in at around the $500 mark, similar to what a 9th generation console PS5 or Xbox Series X would go for today. And sure, looking at a TV from the 60s or a console from the 70s, it may seem absurd that they were so expensive. But when considering their novelty, their cost to manufacture, and the excitement that they generated at their time,
in our home there's color now. Wow! We own color TV.
It really becomes easier to understand why they commanded such hefty price tags. And as for me, seeing the adjusted price of something like the Atari...
I mean, supply and demand, you know, and there's a new technology at the time. So they could get away with that because that was top of the line peak technology at that point, you know? We look at it now like, why would you pay that for those graphics? But I mean, it was the best.
Atari 2600 has made me gain a whole new level of respect for this cutting-edge technology of its day.
Sorry, y'all. My cat keep jumping on me, man. I need to cut this dude claws, man. Let me know if you got a recommendation on cutting the cat's claws, because I'm not going to declaw him, man, and I don't think that he the right way to get those little cat claw covered things, man. This dude jumping on my legs, scratching the mess on me. Look at those insanely dope graphics. All right, y'all, but I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I think that that was pretty dope. I think that he did a really good job. I was surprised at how much all of that cost. I would like to see the price of eggs back then, because paying $6 for 12 eggs is ludicrous. But all right, y'all, God bless and salutations to the nations. Peace.
Angel Knot.